The wind carved icy claws across the mountains, hurling white sheets of snow through the black pines. I had chosen this place because no one else would come here. No neighbors, no noise, no questions. Solitude was a choice I made 3 winters ago, and I never broke my own rules. Until tonight. Atlas, my gray shepherd, had sensed them before I did. He froze mid-step, ears pointed, a low warning growl trapped in his throat. I thought maybe a bear had wandered too close. Then I saw the tracks. Not paw prints. Not boots. Thin, drag lines pressed into the snow like something had been crawling. Something not built for this world. I followed Atlas into the trees, heartbeat pounding in my ears. In a hollow beneath a snow-laden pine, I saw them huddled together, 2 small shapes. Children, unconscious, barefoot, skin icy blue, not frostbite blue. Alien blue. I dropped to my knees beside them. Their skin shimmered faintly under the moonlight, marked with soft glowing lines like constellations flowing beneath the surface. My throat tightened. Kids or not, they would freeze to death if I didn't move. I wrapped them inside my coat and lifted them against my chest. They were light. Too light. The older one stirred. A girl, maybe 6 or 7 in human years. Silver eyes. Unnatural, watchful eyes. Her lips trembled as she whispered with a voice like cracking glass. We shouldn't have run. She's going to find us. Who? I asked. She didn't answer. She looked up at me, not with fear, but with a strange kind of defeat. She thought I was someone else. Or maybe she didn't care who I was, as long as she didn't die alone in the snow. Atlas pressed close, keeping quiet watch. I met his eyes. He didn't bark. He didn't question. He had already decided. We were taking them home. I told myself it was temporary, that I wouldn't get involved, that tomorrow I'd figure out who they were and send them away. But as soon as a little girl whispered those 5 words, "We were bad," Mom left us, I knew I was already lying to myself. This wasn't a rescue. This was the beginning of something I couldn't walk away from. By the time we reached my cabin, the storm had fully awakened. Snow ripped sideways, hammering the rooftop like gravel. I kicked the door shut behind us and carried the children to the bed near the fire. Atlas stayed between me and the door, his instincts sharp, watching for a threat I couldn't see yet. Up close, the children looked even less human. Their skin wasn't just blue. It held a soft inner glow, like moonlight trapped beneath glass. Their veins pulsed with a deeper indigo light, and faint markings flowed over their faces and arms. Natural or not, I couldn't tell. Technology? Biology? Something else? The younger one, her breathing was shallow, too faint. She hadn't woken once. I checked her pulse, fast, unstable. She was slipping away. "Stay with me," I murmured, rubbing warmth into her small hands. "Come on, kid. You made it through a mountain storm. You're not dying now." The older one sat silent, wrapped in a blanket, motionless like a statue, watching everything, processing. I had seen that look before, in refugee camps, in children who survived things no one should see. "What's your name?" I asked gently. Silence. I tried again. "I'm Mark. That's Atlas." She blinked once. "Atlas." Her voice was faint, careful, like she was testing the word. "Yeah," I nodded. "He's the one who found you." The girl placed a shaky hand on Atlas's fur. He didn't move, didn't pull away. For a moment it was like something passed between them, an unspoken understanding. "What happened to you?" I asked. Her eyes moved to the window, watching the storm like she expected it to walk in. "We ran," she whispered. "They were coming. We had to hide." "Who?" Her hands tightened around the blanket. "The woman who pretends." I frowned. "Pretends to be what?" She hesitated. I saw fear flicker across her face before she forced the next words out. "Human." That word hit differently, like a cold blade sliding between ribs. Not because I believed in monsters, but because lately I'd learned monsters often come wearing human faces. I had no idea who she was talking about, but I suddenly knew one thing. This wasn't an accident. These 2 hadn't just gotten lost. Someone wanted them gone. And now, whoever that someone was, they'd come looking for them. And they'd come here. I gave the older girl a warm drink and wrapped her sister in another blanket, trying to raise her body temperature. The firelight flickered across their faces, making the markings on their skin shift like glowing constellations. "You still haven't told me your name," I said gently. She hesitated before answering. "Lyra." "And your sister?" "Ellen." Her voice softened when she said it, a small thread of warmth slipping through the fear. "She's younger. She was hurt in the fall. Her lungs, they don't like this air." "Fall?" I asked. "From where?" Lyra swallowed. Her silver eyes glistened in the firelight. "From the sky." My pulse slowed, not in surprise, more in silent confirmation. The rumors were true. The lights people saw over the mountains. The military sealing off crash sites. The strange metallic debris found near Silver Ridge. I had ignored it all. People like me stay away from trouble. But trouble, real trouble, had finally found me. "Where did you come from, Lyra?" I asked. Her eyes drifted toward the window again, to a sky now hidden by storm clouds. "Far." I didn't push. She didn't need an interrogation. She needed safety, and right now, my cabin was the best she had. A sharp beat broke the silence. I turned fast. My motion tracker, set along the perimeter, had detected movement. Something was out there, moving, closing in. Atlas was already at the window, chest rumbling with a low warning growl. My hand went to the rifle beside the door. "How many?" I whispered to myself as I checked the monitor. The screen flickered, static cutting over the display. For a moment, I saw nothing but black. Then, movement. Thin shadows between trees. Too tall. Too still. Not human. Lyra stood beside me now. I didn't hear her move, but she was there, silent as snowfall. "They found us," she whispered. "Who?" She didn't blink, didn't breathe. "The Watchers." My jaw tightened. "You mean search teams? From your people?" Her response was immediate, violent. "No," she said sharply. "Not ours. Not humans. Not anyone who should be here. The Watchers do not speak. They do not bleed. They do not stop." I studied her face. No lie. No drama. Just truth, cold and terrifying. I grabbed my coat and rifle. "Stay inside. Don't open the door. For anything." "Don't go," she said suddenly, her voice shaking. "I have to," I told her, "because whatever was out there didn't come in peace. And if it found us, the storm outside wouldn't be the only thing that killed tonight." I stepped outside into a blizzard of white silence. The cold punched into my lungs, but my senses were wide awake now. Something had crossed into my world, something that didn't belong here. Atlas slipped out behind me, silent but ready. He didn't need orders. He knew this wasn't a drill. The motion tracker showed the last reading 50 yards from the tree line. I moved slow, keeping low, eyes scanning through the swaying pines. No footprints. No scent. No sound. Whatever was out here didn't move like an animal. And then I saw it. A tall, slender figure stood among the trees, nearly 7 feet, but impossibly thin, with long limbs that hung slightly wrong, like a shadow stretched by firelight. Its head turned, not naturally, but like a camera adjusting. No face. No eyes. Just a smooth mass of shifting darkness. It didn't move. It only watched. Atlas growled, fur bristling. Whatever this thing was, even a military-enhanced dog like him had never encountered it. And I had the feeling we weren't supposed to. I raised my rifle. "You're trespassing," I called out, voice steady against the storm. "State your purpose, or you're leaving in pieces." Nothing. No reaction. I felt it before I heard it. Movement behind us. I spun around, but too late. Another figure stepped out of the trees. Then another. And another. They surrounded us. They didn't walk. They glided across the snow. No prints left behind. No weight. No life. My gut screamed. These weren't aliens. These weren't humans. These weren't anything natural. They were wrong. One of them tilted its head, studying me. Then its chest began to split open, not bleeding, but unfolding. Mechanical. Cold. Inside, a pulsing white sphere flickered, light alive and single purpose. A targeter. Down! I yelled, shoving Atlas aside. A beam of white-hot energy ripped through the air, slicing across the snow where I had been standing. They were armed. Atlas lunged before I could stop him, slamming into the nearest figure. Metal screeched. Sparks flew. The thing staggered but didn't fall. Didn't scream. Didn't react to pain. It had no pain. I fired 3 clean shots to center mass. It barely flinched. "You've got to be kidding me," I muttered. Another beam fired, searing past my shoulder. We were outnumbered, outgunned, outmatched, and then a sound cut through the storm. Sharp, melodic, alive. Lyra. She was outside, and she wasn't alone. Lyra stood barefoot in the snow, hair whipping in the storm winds, eyes burning silver in the darkness. She shouldn't have been outside, not in this cold, not in this danger. But there she was, staring at the watchers like she had seen them before, like she had run from them before. Her lips parted, and she sang. The sound that came from her wasn't a song, not really. It was a frequency shaped into music, melodic yet unnatural, rising and falling in impossible patterns. It cut through the storm, through me, through everything. For a moment I forgot the cold, forgot the danger, forgot myself. Atlas froze, ears pinned back. Even the watchers seemed to hesitate. Their bodies jerked in short mechanical spasms, heads flickering like disrupted radio signals. Lyra lifted one trembling hand, singing harder now, louder. Her voice didn't carry words, it carried force. Her tone sharpened, vibrating the air like invisible thunder. And then the first watcher dropped. Its body stiffened and collapsed into the snow with a hard metallic crack. Then the second fell. The third. All of them twitched, limbs spasming like machines caught in an electric snare. Lyra staggered, gripping her throat. The song, whatever it was, hurt her. Lyra. I ran to her as Atlas circled the fallen watchers. "Stop. You're hurting yourself." She pushed me back with a desperate shake of her head. Her eyes shimmered with pain. "They will wake," she said through clenched teeth, voice raw. "We must go." "How do you know that?" "Because I have seen it," she whispered. "I have seen them stand again. They never stop." I stared at the fallen watchers. They weren't dead, not damaged, only delayed. A sudden realization hit me, like falling through ice. Whatever had chased these kids before wasn't done, and it wasn't human, and it wasn't from their world either. This was something else. I scooped Lyra into my arms. "Where's Ellen?" Inside, she gasped, struggling to breathe. Her voice strained, shaking. "She's getting worse." "Then we move now," I said. Atlas trotted ahead of us, watchful and ready. But as I carried Lyra toward the cabin, I saw something down the slope, far beyond the trees. Lights. Headlights. A convoy. 3 vehicles. Military. And they were coming straight for us. Lyra saw them too. Her grip tightened on my arm. "Not them," she whispered, voice full of a deeper fear. "Not watchers. Not aliens. Humans." And from the way she trembled, she feared them most of all.